Liberated, freed, released, free from traditional social restraints, sisters, girls or women who share a common ancestry, allegiance, character, or purpose with another or others, fellow Black women or girls.
Assalamualaikum. She's coming. Here I come. I pray you all are doing well. Let's see. It's just so close to you. Assalamualaikum. I'm Sister Charlene Muhammad of Liberated Sisters, your host and producer, and thank you all for joining us today. I have had my pumps on the ground working, and so just happy to be here, for another broadcast of our show. We have a very special guest tonight, very special guest. Spread the word. I'll let you know a little bit closer toward the time that they're supposed to be on, which is at 5:30 or 7:30 or 9:30, depending on your time zone. They're coming with life-saving information. And so I will do a condensed version of the Justice Report. The Justice Report is out of the Final Call newspaper, meaning we want justice. And the cry for that is increasing. And so the Justice Report grew out of me wanting to talk about what we're doing as not just the Nation of Islam, but our people, humanity, those who are the righteous, not Black people, not white people, not indigenous people, people who want truth, freedom, justice, equality. And so the Justice Report came out of that when I started broadcasting to highlight what's happening. Yes, all of these things, these calamities, and all of Shaitan's mechanisms, the enemy is moving. However, people are doing something about it. And there is hope, not false hope. There's real hope, real work being done. And so we want to spread the good news about it now. Our guest is straight, no chaser. This person holds no punches. They're not a stranger to Liberated Sisters. And we have something coming up. It's moving right now across the country that is life-saving. It's something that people can dial into, receive the assistance. I just don't know what to say. After coming from this recent community event, and even with the Final Call This week, which we're going to get into the headlines, I want you to go to finalcall.com. If you have the digital subscription, pull it up, go along with me. If you don't, you might want to get it. I encourage you to get a digital subscription to the Final Call, but in the least, go to finalcall.com for the news before the news. Our publisher is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, but he's more than that, however. He is the man of God, and he gives us the news before it even plays out. So we have the headlines before, I mean, they take place, not just the news and the headlines of what's coming, like the real deal news, but also what to do about it. It's coming, but not just like, oh, bad news, or oh, maybe good news. What are we going to do about it? Here's what God declares. And so I said that to say that this person is coming with some of that knowledge and information from Minister Farrakhan in terms of what they do in their student posts, we say in the Nation of Islam, but also in their expertise, whatever. He's coming. So, inshallah. So, let me jump into this week's headline. I think what I'll do is just share screen so you can see that. Spread the word. Please spread the word. But I'm going to go through something, and we're going to go through the cover story really quickly. And again, shout out to the Final Call newspaper, um, the staff, the editors, manager, production, wherever. Everyone has a hand in this, and of course the publisher of Peace, because it's straight. It's straight news. And so let me share the screen and I'll get to it. The cover story by Brother Brian E. Muhammad. And again, we have the special guest coming. And so spread the word. I'll tell you, it's Dr. Rizzi Muhammad because he's coming soon. So Dr. Rizzi Muhammad is going to be on with us talking about, among other things, the Nation of Islam Ministry of Agriculture and the Staple Goods Project. So share screen cover story. Here we go. I'll get a producer. Y'all watch. No, so she finally got a producer. Trouble. Here it is. I want to show the cover, but I want to read it too. So that's the cover story. Let's see. Add it to the. Here it is. All right. What you see over there is being planned over here. What you see over there is being planned over here. Our special guest can go into it. I'm just going to try not to editorialize and give my little 2 cents about it, but here is the cover story by Brother Brian E. Muhammad. The Unraveling of a Great Nation is the center article by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And so I'm getting full seeing this cover. Okay. Troubles in Foreign Lands. I think I'll switch to real. Did it switch? No, I'm going to switch to. Sorry, everyone. I want to switch. Okay. Thanks for your patience. I want to switch it. Here it is. This is the one I want us to go through. Okay, finalcall.com. Finalcall.com. Our guest will be coming on in the next 20 minutes. And so that's Dr. Rizzi Muhammad, manager of Muhammad Farms, and our student minister of agriculture for the Nation of Islam. Brother Brian, did I put it in the screen? Sorry. Here we go. There it is. Troubles in foreign lands will soon visit America. As world crises descend, and I got these on. As world crises descend deeper into an abyss of uncertainty, darkness, and confusion, critical truths spoken about the world's condition by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, National Representative of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, continue to unfold and manifest. Thank you, brother FOI and sisters MGT, who get this word into the hands of our people. In Minister Farrakhan's pivotal Savior's Day message titled, "What does Allah, the great Mahdi, and the great Messiah have to say about the war in the Middle East?" delivered in Detroit, Michigan. This was February 2024. The minister provided divine guidance and caution concerning man's inhumanity to man and Israel's genocidal war on the Palestinian people. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan warned us. Many of you were there. We sat in that audience. We heard him online. We read the after publishing of that. He warned both Israel and America concerning their actions in the war. This Brother Brian writes in his article. However, Minister Farrakhan also cautioned why the American people, particularly Black and Indigenous people, should be concerned with what is occurring in the Middle East. Why should we be concerned with what's occurring in the Middle East? Here's a quote. So when you say, I ain't got nothing to do with what's going on in the Middle East, you better listen. You better wake up, because what you see over there is being planned over here, said Minister Farrakhan. Quote, so I want you to just listen to your brother and do your research, he added. Okay? Do your research. He said, listen to him. And he said, do your research. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Brother Brian continues, and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan have warned that the turmoil devastating nations abroad will inevitably reach American shores. The final call has steadily reported on the atrocities unfolding in occupied Palestine since war erupted on October 7, 2023. And final call, you're doing a great job. And thank you for continuing to bring us the news and the truth of what's happening there. Citing figures, Brother Brian continues, from the Palestinian Ministry of Health, as reported by Al Jazeera's live tracker, press time numbers indicate that more than 61,000 Palestinians have been killed, including over 18,400 children, with tens of thousands more wounded. That's a statistic, but these are people, these are lives, these are humans. So I had to slow down and not run through that like this is just riddling off, how much money's in the bank or something. These are lives. Okay, Brother Brian continues, considering the thousands who remain missing, presumed dead, and buried beneath the ruins, some sources estimate the true death toll to be far higher. Among the fatalities are 221 people, including 101 children who succumbed to starvation. Meanwhile, survivors endure daily bombardment from U.S.-made weaponry, coupled with Israeli-enforced starvation through the deliberate obstruction of food, medical aid, and fuel. International humanitarian organizations warn that Gaza has entered the, quote, worst case scenario, unquote, for famine. Heart-wrenching images, continues Brother Brian E. Muhammad's article, heart-wrenching images of emaciated children and reports of Palestinians shot and killed while desperately seeking food at distribution sites reveal the depth of the crises, compounded by the constant burden of forced displacement from their lands. Quote, these cruel dystopian scenes are the new norm in Gaza, where people have been devalued and are dehumanized. This said Felipe Lazzarini, the UNRWA, Commissioner General, in a August 8th post on the social media platform X. So the Commissioner General here described what Israel is doing, and he described it as a quote unquote orchestrated killing with a quote unquote license to kill starving people in total impunity. So in a statement earlier this month, Brother Brian continues, the Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights reported that people killed while seeking aid has surpassed 1,400. That office stressed that deliberately targeting civilians not taking part in hostilities, using starvation as a method of warfare, and willfully obstructing humanitarian relief constitute war crimes. Quote, if a part of a systematic or widespread attack on the civilian population, I think I missed something there. He said, if part of a systematic or widespread attack on the civilian population, these may also constitute crimes against humanity. This is the office of the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights. So, Brother Brian's article continues that furthermore, human rights organizations, legal experts, and genocide scholars warn that the situation meets the legal criterion for genocide. In August 10, remarks from Mosque Mariam, the Nation of Islam's headquarters, student minister Ismail Muhammad, who is the national assistant to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, noted that despite over 160 nations imploring Israel to allow aid into Gaza, the Israeli intent to cleanse Gaza of Palestinians ethnically persists. There's an abundance of aid being obstructed at the borders by Israel. Quote, it's genocide that's taking place over there, unquote, stated student minister Ismail Muhammad. You all subscribe to the Final Call newspaper, finalcall.com. Why is Sister Charlene reading this article? Is it lazy broadcast? What's happening here? We need to know this. We need to know what's happening. We need to read this. There's a warning and a guidance. This is news that we received 2024, but really, Minister Farrakhan said this way decades. He warned of this. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, they've been warning us of this and telling us how to move, but this has been stated. And now, okay, I said I wouldn't be editorializing, right? Okay, here we go. This is another quote by student minister Ismail Muhammad. Women, children starving because what the minister Louis Farrakhan said, their intention was to cleanse Gaza of every Palestinian that lived there, cleanse the West Bank and East Jerusalem so that Israel would not be bothered with Palestinians anymore, unquote, said student minister Ismail, quoting Minister Farrakhan. Quote, they want to cleanse us too, he added, referring to Black and Indigenous people in America. Did you get that? I'll repeat it. Said student minister Ismail Muhammad, quoting Minister Farrakhan. They want to cleanse us too. Okay? So student minister Ismail Muhammad goes on to explain that this is why the Final Call newspaper often places Palestine on its front cover so that Black people and the world may witness what is being done. Quote, and yes, Minister Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam stand with our Palestinian brothers and sisters for justice, unquote, said student minister Ismail Muhammad. For those who may be just tuning in or listening, we're going over the Final Call newspaper cover story. What you see, afar off, what you see over there is coming here, but I'll give you the correct title because I'm reading from it. God is not mocked. Okay, they want to cleanse us too. Yeah. So the article goes on to say that although the atrocities in Palestine are taking place more than 6,000 miles away, observers say that as Gaza is besieged, speaking out for Palestinians is essential. So this comes from Abayomi Azikiwe. He's political commentator and editor of Pan-African Newswire. Quote, they're human beings just like everybody else, unquote. He said it's important that Black people in the United States be concerned as a people also marginalized. He further states, in quotes, historically, the most progressive elements of the community here have been concerned, unquote, noting a long-standing history of such solidarity. For example, he said, as early as the 1950s, the Nation of Islam expressed solidarity with Egypt during the 1956 aggression by Britain, France, and Israel. That was to retake control of the Suez Canal after it was nationalized. Later, Malcolm X issued a statement supporting Palestinians after visiting Gaza in 1964. Then, in 1967, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee stood for the plight of Palestinians. These early stands are a few examples of a tradition of Black internationalism that linked the Palestinian struggle with the Black freedom struggle in the United States as a shared struggle against colonialism, racism, and imperialism. Mr. Ezekiel continues, quote, the most progressive and forward-looking forces that have emerged in our community have all seen the necessity of an alliance with the Palestinians. Now, Brother Brian's article goes on to say that in addition, Black, Indigenous, and poor communities are adversely impacted by American adventurism overseas, resulting in a bloated military budget of nearly $1 trillion, which is projected to exceed that sum next year. It goes on into the cost of military spending. He goes on to cite Dr. Melina Abdullah, which has said that considering such amounts, America isn't just witnessing the genocide, it's an active participant in genocide, according to Dr. Melina Abdullah, former independent vice presidential candidate and co-founder of Black Lives Matter Los Angeles. And so just to step back a beat, they're saying that consequently, statistically in the article, U.S. taxpayers provide $3.8 billion annually to Israel. I didn't want to gloss over that, giving Dr. Melina Abdullah's comment, but this is critical. Since October 2023, that baseline figure swelled to $17.9 billion in 2024. That is according to Brown University's Costs of War Project. It tracks U.S. military spending. So continuing on with Dr. Molina's statement in the article, quote, the U.S. government is funding Israel to commit these war crimes, engage in genocide. This is her contention. When we talk about the kinds of things that are needed in community, reasoned Dr. Abdullah, you could defund the genocide and fund communities. Those are quotations, and one more statement attributed to her. We could have what we need just by taking that money back from the unjust evil war, colonization, occupation, and pour it into the communities that our tax dollars are supposed to go to, unquote. I think we're getting to the end of it, and I want to hopefully maybe show another headline, or maybe I'll just make an announcement for Final Call Radio. But Brother Brian's article goes on. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and his teacher, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, cautioned that America is not immune to either experiencing or perpetrating such events being witnessed abroad. Israeli soldiers and military equipment are still on the streets of Gaza, and National Guard troops are now seen in Washington, D.C. Hunger is rampant in Gaza, and in the U.S., budget cuts to social service safety nets that help the poor are on the chopping block. Dissatisfaction, dissolution, and hunger with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his government have made Israeli citizens take to the streets, while in U.S. cities, demonstrations have also taken place in opposition to policy proposals of the current presidential administration. As Israel continues expelling or sometimes detaining Palestinians from the West Bank and Gaza, in the U.S., officials with ICE, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, are detaining undocumented but also documented Black, Latino, and Indigenous immigrants in the United States for deportation. Though the situations and circumstances are not exactly the same, there are parallels and similarities, continues the article. History lays bare America's own crimes against humanity against the Black and Indigenous people that has never been remedied with justice. Israel is to the Palestinians as America is to the Black and Indigenous people. As settler colonial powers, both nations were built on the blood, marginalization, and forced displacement of people. That still stands true in 2025. Brother Brian quotes the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in Fall, The Fall of America, his critical book. Quote, America was founded and built with blood and established by iniquity. She killed the aboriginal inhabitants, Indians, to establish herself as an independent people at the great loss of lives of the original owners. Unquote. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad wrote this in chapter 28. He continues, her great progress has been made by the work of iniquity. She has robbed many people, and the blood of her slaves, the so called Negroes, has stained the earth here and elsewhere, stained by her hands. End quote. In Final Call interviews, analysts and observers stated that as people long subjected to oppression and colonization, Black and indigenous people should be invested in the Palestinian issue and vice versa. To see people brutally slaughtered in a genocidal way and say nothing is to be, quote, complicit with genocide, unquote, even as Black Americans, said Mr. Azikiwe. Quote, because if we're not speaking out against it and say this has nothing to do with us, which is false, then we're complicit, unquote. That's his argument. Dr. Abdullah added that Black people are the moral compass of the world, those are in quotations, who were always willing to stand for justice. However, nobody can claim to be a servant of God or a good person and sit idly by and watch children be starved to death. She continues, quote, we understand what it is to be targeted and put in open air prisons and have our families ripped apart, to not have a claim to our own land, said Dr. Abdullah. There is a connection there. Those are attributed to her in quotations. And why am I continually saying quote unquote? Because these are their words. This is Brother Brian's article, but this is the Nation of Islam, the Final Call newspapers publication. And so just making sure that what is being written here and expressed is not taken out of context and it's straight. And this is a news report. This is a news report. So, quoting the scripture, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad in the final chapter of The Fall of America, entitled The Worst Is Yet to Come, warned that America would experience the trouble seen abroad. Quote, as the Holy Quran prophesies to us, you will hear it coming from distant places with vehement raging and roaring. He wrote, that's in the quote. That's the Honorable Elijah Muhammad talking. He continues, America is beset all around now with troubles and destructions which have happened. America thought that she was immune to the troubles and destructions which are going on in other nations. Now, the same trouble and destruction that you read of as happening in other countries and to other nations, these same troubles and destruction with their evil and gruesome sound are knocking on the door of America, end quote, said the Honorable Elijah Muhammad at 5:30. I guess I was supposed to do it that way because lo and behold, we're ready right on time to bring in Dr. Ridgely Muhammad. So I have stopped screen sharing, and without further ado, maybe I can show some in my closing remarks, but let's bring them on. Dr. Ridgely, I'm sorry, I just put you in. Are you ready? Because I'll go to you right now.
Fine.
Okay.
How's it
Assalamu
sound?
alaikum, Dr.
Waiting
Ridgely.
salam.
Good to see you.
Can
Dr.
you hear
Ridgely,
me?
welcome back. Oh, yeah. Loud and
Okay,
clear.
good.
Dr.
Good.
Ridgely,
Good.
welcome back to Liberated Sisters. It's good to see you. Please give our greetings to Sister Ann. And I don't know if I opened in the name of Allah. I think I did. But that final call cover story is heavy, the whole issue. And so just reading through that, um, it's I feel it's necessary, first of all for myself, but I don't have to do that here on air. Why on air? Because I think if Liberated Sisters is on talking, what am I talking about? So your camera went out, Dr. Risley. I'll just ask you for your
Your
opening
brother's
remarks
lost
for the show.
connection. What does that mean?
Well, I
Um,
can still hear you. So
you still hear me?
your I can hear you. Your camera's
For the
not on,
call.
but Dr. Lee, I'm going to come on out and ask you to make an opening remark. And I've told people that you're coming to talk about the staple goods program. So as I really officially introduce him, all of these things we hear, some of it talking about famine. Dr. Risley will talk about a food source here through the Nation of Islam. But Dr. Risley, your opening remarks, and then we'll get to the Q&A, okay? Lost connection. So that's, if you notice, I really didn't have him on the flyer for a reason. So he'll pop back in and we'll handle it, God willing.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go right on ahead, Dr. Wilson, with your opening remarks
Yes.
and some solutions,
Yes.
especially about the food
Yes.
situation. Go ahead.
Yes. Well, you're right. There's a reason why I haven't been on. Every time I try to get on, the enemy plays games, and I can't blame them because we're not playing games. We're trying to obliterate their games that they're playing on us and the world. I'm going to get to the Staple Goods Project because this is something that we have to do. We started in 2011, and I'm going to go a little bit through the history of how we started and why we did it. But your opening remarks and the words you read from the final call, it struck me. And I have to say what's on my heart. It seems that what the Israelis are doing to the Palestinians and observing how the world is not doing anything to Israel, it seems like a test case to see if America will be able to get away with what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan warned us about in 2010 as who are the real children of Israel, and in 2017, where that what you see over there, you will see over here. And it seems like what you're seeing over there is a test to see how the world responds. So when they do the same thing over here, they expect the world not to respond as it did not respond to protecting the Palestinians from Israel. So that's my opening remark.
Thank you, Dr. Ridgely. And so one of the things, and I know we have a Q&A that we're going to engage in, and I guess we should just go right on with that first question because I'll go off script and I don't want to be time wasteful, if
Yes.
you will. So I don't even have those questions in front of me. But talk about let's start with this. So we have the Nation of Islam Staple Goods Project right now.
Yes. Yes.
What is it? And let's start with that. What is the Staple Goods Project?
Okay. The Staple Goods Project is, we have a list of products that we surround the products from Muhammad's farms. In 2011, we purchased a flour mill, and to get our flour distributed across the country, we had to surround it with other items that people needed because the minister had just told us to prepare for a day of want where we need to stay in our houses because it would be too dangerous to go out. So we surrounded our pastry flour, whole wheat flour, cream of whole wheat, and Sister Ann's muffin mix with navy beans, red beans, black beans, brown beans, red lentils, sugar, brown rice, real salt, honey, coffee, bean soups, soap, Mexican's Blaze, Daryl's sauce, granola cereal, and variety pack seasonings. We sent this out the first time. We sent it out in 2011 to 23 cities. But in 2021, in the middle of the lockdowns and the mandates, we sent it to 83 cities. We sent 125 5,000 pounds of food out across the country. And this gave our people hope that they would not have to take the shot just to eat. So this is a process, and this time, and the minister has warned us, based on what happened in 2023, that we need to prepare. What we see over there, we will see over here, and we see how Trump is threatening to bring in the military into our cities. They're setting up something. So we must be prepared in case all hell breaks loose. So you have something to have in your home, so that you will not have to go out into the streets until it's safer. So there's a history that leads us up to this point. And at this time, can I kind of give this little history that people need to understand?
It's your show, Doc. I'm sorry, Dr. Risley. Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes, please. I want to really dig into it.
Okay.
And how can people, do they have to be Muslim to order?
Yes, right. You don't have to be Muslim to order. Go to noimoa.org, and you will see the Staple Goods 26 logo. And just hit that and read the instructions about how you will be able to order your products. We have a list of the products and their prices, and you have a list of coordinators who are near you that you would work through to get your product when it's delivered to your cities, and who you would pay for the products that you are going to get. So noimoa.org and the Staple Goods Project. You see SGP. That's the Staple Goods Project logo, and just follow the instructions. We started orders this past Sunday, the 24th, and we'll do that for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Then the store closes, and then we will start collecting the money for the products, and then we prepare to ship them out to you. So we are working together in a collective manner because we know we need to at this point. When we came up out of slavery, they threw us in the woods. They promised us 40 acres and a mule. They gave us some people 40 acres, and they took it back the next year. They set up the Plessy versus Ferguson 1896 Supreme Court decision. That was not a decision about you drinking water at a white water fountain or going to a white desegregated toilet. It was about you, Black people, you and I, our ancestors, not coming to town. They would not touch us. They would not give us health care. They did not want us coming to town to buy anything. Forget trying to sell anything. They wanted us to die in the woods. But what they did not know was that we are the tribe of Shabazz, who went down into Africa 50,000 years ago and tamed the jungle and came out building pyramids and water systems, irrigation systems, water purification systems, came out of the jungles creating civilizations. So when they threw us out into the woods, they thought we would die. But instead, we got together, worked together. Now, most white folks, except the Jews, knew it because they was doing trade with both sides. But the regular white folks didn't even know what we was doing in the woods. But by 1910, we had bought 16 million acres of land. We had 7 medical schools. Did you hear me? 7 medical schools. We had banks. You hear me? We had banks. We were on a par with the regular white folks. We were on the same level. But no, then they came through and they burnt us out and they ran us up north and they took our land. And then the U.S. Department of Agriculture in 1933 set up the Commodity Corporation, where they actually paid Midwestern farmers for their grains, and then gave it to the southern states, to the southern white on the southern white plantation who had sharecroppers, so that they can give that to the sharecroppers, so the sharecroppers would not have to grow their own food. Mm. Then they set up, so that's the beginning of the food stamp program. It's called a SNAP program. That's 76% of the budget of the U.S. Department of Agriculture today. And that's the program that Trump is threatening to cut back on the SNAP program. But that program was set up to do exactly what it has done, and that is to deter Black people from growing their own food. And now, since we are dependent on them, they're going to pull that rug. They're going to pull that plug. Because as long as we were segregated, and had to do for ourselves, we did for ourselves. But when they found out what we was doing in the woods, I got to read you, since sometimes they only give you one chance to get it. Now, this is a guy named Preston Brooks. He wrote this book in 1914, talking about what he discovered that had happened in Georgia. It's called the Agrarian Revolution in Georgia, 1865 to 1912. And let's just read this one paragraph. Quote, "No claim is here made that Negroes are not progressing. Such a claim would be idle in the face of the fact that in 1910, they were assessed for taxation in Georgia on $32,234,000 worth of property, including 1,607,970 acres of land. That's just in Georgia. The point on which insistence is made is that the mass of the race are wholly unfit for economic independence, and they are sacrificing their best chance for well-being in seeking too rapid divorcement from the tutelage and industry to which they should pass." Now, let me interpret that for you. In other words, you niggas trying to be free. You're trying to be independent. You need to go back on the plantation and stop trying to do something for yourself. The economic motives that urges men of other races to labor is weak in the Negro race. Any influences which would tend to increase his wants are to be welcome. He needs larger desires and the pressure of competition for work. Let me go back to this. This is the most important sentence right here. Any influences which would tend to increase his wants are to be welcome. If the Black people in Georgia bought 1,607,907 acres of land, that is what they wanted. Okay? With that underneath, what they're saying is these niggas don't want nothing from us. They're doing it for themselves. We're going to have to produce wants in them. What? We must change them from being producers to consumers of our stuff. And now we are the consumers of their stuff and produce nothing for ourselves. But when they found out what we was doing in them woods, that Wakanda movie, that's a fake. The real deal is what was happening in the South after slavery up to 1910. Then they began to burn us and lynch us and run us out and set up government programs to stop the Black farmers. Then at the same time in 1833, the government gave each county subsistence programs to help them to get into the new industrial agriculture. And they gave the money to each county and had a county committee to dispense the money. The county committee was and is the big white farmers who dole out the money. Right here in Terrell County, I'm here to experience, to show you what I know. They got the big white farmers who dole out the money. They got one Black farmer on the committee who cannot vote. And they did this all across the country. So your tax money went to the white farmers and not the Black farmers. So through labor-saving devices and products, equipment, and fertilizers and chemicals, they gave the white farmers an opportunity to run the Black farmers out of business And then I told you they set up the food stamp program in particular to stop black people from growing their own food. We are at war. We've been at war. We just didn't know how wicked these people are. You just can't fathom the depths of this wicked person, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has taught us. So now, what we're doing in the Staple Goods Project, we have decided, we have decided that we need each other. And when you need each other, we know that you will find a way to get along with each other. And now we know we need each other. And Mr. Trump is showing us, but he's trumping it up, boy. He's making it plain. We want to go back the way it used to be. You back on a plantation. So we're here to provide for you an opportunity to participate in the Staple Goods Project so that you can store some things in your home. So in case all hell breaks loose, which it looks like it might, you will have something you can depend on until it blows over. And in the meantime, it would be nice if you had the time and opportunity to go back to those states that they ran you out of, find you some property, or find the property that some of your people still may own, and you might want to go back there and get off the grid. You might want to go back there and set up your whole a solar farm, electricity, water, irrigation. You might want to work together and grow your own food. You might want to start learning how to serve one another, how to depend on one another, the way you used to when you came out of slavery. That hidden history that I just told you about. They try to give you the impression that black people are suffering from post-slavery syndrome. No, we're suffering from present cracker and Jew syndrome. They always own our case. They're messing with us. Can't even communicate with each other over their platform without interference. But we thank Allah for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, that black man who has a strong voice, a strong will, and no matter what they dish out, he can flip it back on them. So now he ain't saying nothing. But guess what? He got a whole lot of Farrakhan babies, a whole lot of Farrakhan babies. And a lot of them are not even in the Nation of Islam, but they got platforms and they are kicking behind on the synagogue of Satan and the enemies of black people in the world. They are kicking behind. They're arguing with each other, fighting each other over who's the biggest anti-Semite, okay? Because they know they're seeing the truth. They've been lit up. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan started in 1984. They jumped him from telling the truth about these people who call themselves Jews. But now the world is looking at them and saying, who are these people? But they just bold. They're bold because they say, I'm going to break you. I'm going to make you submit to me, to my wickedness. So this is our opportunity to do something for self or continue to die as a slave. Any questions?
Yes, sir, Dr. Ridgely. Thank you for everything you have shared so far. You got me fired up, especially when you start talking about the Farrakhan babies. And I'm glad that you are here because when something's coming up regarding some of the Farrakhan babies, and I would love you to be right there with me as we highlight some of them. Okay.
Okay.
But we'll talk about that. There's a couple of questions. I have some, but I see some here online. And what I want to say is someone asked, is there such a thing as genetic? Thank you all for tuning in and those who are in the chat and your questions, send them and I'll get them over to Dr. Ridgely. A question is there such a thing as genetically engineered or modified Navy being?
Well, I don't know. I know a brother who, while he was in college, that they was trying to get him to work on genetically modifying the Navy being, but he refused to do it. So I don't know what state they're at that point. It's been very hard for them to genetically engineer wheat, okay? Because wheat has more complications than the human body in terms of the DNA. So since we've been taught so much about that Navy bean and how powerful it is, I'm sure they're trying to, but I don't know whether they unlocked the code or not. But so far, I haven't heard anything.
Thank you. I have a question in light of that and many more, but before I get to their other question, um, well, let me ask that question because it comes right off of what you said. And thank you for posing it. It is saying it is a good Salim H. It is a good practice. Is it a good practice to get the approval of the minister when buying land or joining with others who are buying land? That's not the question I'm asking here. The question here that I want you to answer is some are buying land in Georgia. Okay, I don't want to deal with that question. So because
And I don't want to deal with that either.
we have a route to, we have a route, and so I think the person also kind of can navigate that question. So my question is, Dr. Ridgely, how, this is, and thank you, person. I understand, Brother Salim, but take that call up to headquarters with that. Um, it seems like a massive undertaking with the staple goods project. I don't want to say it seems like it is to me, in my view. How do
Yes.
you all get it done, Dr. Ritzy? And the reason I say that, the question like that, is because I've been there to the farm and I see uh, the skeleton crew, you will, if you will, that I see. But, also there's something that maybe I don't see. You just have a lot of help. I don't know. This is big across the country.
Well, we do have coordinators in over 80 cities. So
Mm-hmm.
they're the ones who coordinate the sales and the distribution. But we get together the products, shipped it in from all across the country, including the products that we produce, and then we have a crew that takes those products, breaks the big boxes down to compile them into our big boxes, and then the truck company comes and picks them up and they deliver them. The key is discipline. The discipline of our people who are the coordinators, the discipline of the people who purchase, their patience, so that they follow instructions and give us time to service them by doing things in an organized manner. You got to be organized, and people say, can we do this? Okay, we get the salt and the 6 ounce, 10 ounce shakers. Can we get the 10 pounds of salt and not the shakers? Well, maybe next time we'll be able to do that.
Yeah.
But we can't just do one little thing for one person. I'm gonna tell you something else we've done.
Mm.
The price that people pay subsidizes the people far away. In other words, if you come to the farm to pick up your staple goods, it'll cost you the same thing that the people in California got to pay for their staple goods.
Okay.
Okay? So, in order to distribute the products across the country and everybody pay the same price, the people who live closer to the farm have agreed to purchase the products at a price sustains staple goods and sustains the people who live far away from the farm. So it is a collective sacrifice.
Wow, look at that.
That people are making so that we can serve everybody, including St. Croix, including Bermuda. But we do this, and this is what our people agreed to. They agreed to, okay, we'll pay more. We know we're closer to the farm. We should not pay as much. Well, yeah, but what about the people who live far away?
What a blessing.
That's how we work in a collective manner, in an organized manner, and we do everything up front. And if we have voting, the coordinators, we have voting. They'll tell you we have voting. If it's not a consensus, then we vote, and the majority wins, and that's what we do. Okay?
Wow.
That's how we operate.
Thank you. And thank the coordinators. Ours here in LA is Brother Kevin, but to all the coordinators, thank you, Dr. Weasley. You all have it going on. As a benefactor, it seems effortless. I know it's not, but it's just smooth. It's smooth.
Well, I'm tell you how smooth it is. It's so smooth that it helped me to demonstrate something. We had just happened to have 5,000 pounds of Demerara sugar that had not been unpacked, all on one pallet. 5,000 pounds. And so we use that palette to demonstrate how the Egyptians, how the Kemetic people moved 5,000 pounds of stone on a car. A car is nothing. That's only hieroglyphic car. It looks like a little Flintstone car. All it is some rollers, some logs that you roll your car on. And one person could push 5,000 pounds with ease.
Right.
We have it it's on my video. It's on Romo.com.
I'm gonna go find.
Yeah, Romo.com. You can see us pushing, one man pushing 5,000 pounds. But that's 5,000 pounds of demerara sugar or raw sugar. But you gotta think hard and work smart. Think hard, then work smart. Think hard, then work smart. Develop a plan, stick to your plan. Change your plan when and if necessary, but don't be jumping from this place to that place. No, well, we can't do that. I'm sorry, we can't do that right now. Well, why can't you? Because we can't do that right now. Okay, maybe we can do that next time. So we try to figure out a way we can get it done next time, but this time we can't do that. Okay, so this is how we're able to do what seems impossible, but it's just a matter of coordination, being upfront with everybody, and being humble, being able to listen to your coordinators, telling you what they see on the ground, what they see in the field, what their customers are telling them, what they're saying about the product, what they're saying about the system, and so that we can tweak it. I can't be all over the country to see what's going on. So I had to have eyes all over the country. And my coordinators are those eyes, and they give us feedback, straight up feedback. Y'all say I'm a straight up person. Well, my coordinators are straight up people. Okay. And we get things done because we stay on point and we deal with actual facts, not feelings. Actual facts, not feelings. Thank you for posting that, my sister.
Yeah, Dr. Ritchie, thank you. And I want to say this is 2020 because I just pulled up what I have, but it's 2020, but still the products are there. And that's what I wanted people to see mainly. Yes. Dr. Ritchie, I know I have it on text too, as since you mentioned the rollers, yes. But I'm going to pose some questions and then get it. And then we're at 6, but we can continue on with the questions that are here. Let me do that.
Okay, you can just scroll on down so they can see you got the flour, you got the hot cereal, cream of whole wheat, you got the bread mix. Keep on going down.
Yeah. Oh, that's just the ends. Muffin mix. Ooh,
mix. Yeah. Oh yeah. Navy beans, red beans. Keep on down. Black beans. Keep on coming.
Yep.
Lentils, brown lentils, red lentils, brown rice, honey, real salt. Now seasonings, all type of seasonings. Then we got the different types of seasonings.
Variety pouch.
Then we have the Mexican coffee. We're not gonna have this time because we couldn't get it in time.
Okay.
We're not gonna have the applesauce this time because we couldn't get the volume to get enough of the applesauce. But we're gonna have the navy bean soup. You better get it now because that one goes fast. We got that the premium navy bean soup. That's the one that you store in your house for 25 years, and you throw some hot water with it, and it's just like you just cooked it.
Ooh, let me add to my list. Let me get that. Okay.
And then we got pure natural soap, and then we have the garden starter, the farmer starter, the vegetable gardening seeds, 14 varieties of vegetable seeds, non-GMO, what they call it, heirloom. These are seeds that have been here for years, the same variety. And when you save the seed, it'll grow the same thing when you save the seed. And we suggest that you learn how to save seed because by 2030, they want to make it illegal for you to buy seed. Okay? These people are not playing. Look up Agenda 2030. Look up and put it in, Agenda 2030, and read up on it. These people are not playing about locking down planet Earth to make you a slave to them. This is the end of their 6,000 years, and they're not going out easy. They're going to try to break people's spirit, to make them submit to Satan, to give up their body, take a shot, take an mRNA, change their DNA so you can become a robot, can be one of their tools and fools. For real, real.
Let's listen to Dr. Ridgely. Dr. Ridgely, question made me think about something on the seeds. Oh, I have so many questions. A peel or a peel or organic peel. There are some stores that carry it. This is the produce. It has this lining. I'm going to read about it.
APL, APEL, APEEL.
That's right.
It's not appealing. Okay, it's not appealing. Don't touch it. It does not digest. Okay, they put it on the vegetables so they can stay on that shelf for two years. All right, that stuff will not digest in your system. It is straight up poison that Bill Gates has got approved for to put out to prolong the life of fruits and vegetables in the stores, and it's straight up evil.
There's a headline. Thank you. There's a headline I read recently. I will pull it up after I ask these questions to make sure I'm giving the accurate information. But that alleged that was approved by USDA for all produce. When I heard the word all, I was like, let me double check that. I'm gonna do that again right now. But had you read that as well or heard that?
Yes, I've heard that. It's been approved.
Well, you heard that too. Let me look that up.
Okay.
Because I know that one store, there's a store called I don't want to promote stores, but there's a store that is said to not carry any of that. And when you walk into that store, it tells their customers, this is something we don't use. Here's why we urge you not to use it. And I think that's a community service. Right.
It's a community service. If it's a community service, if you can prove that. See, the system is so sneaky, and you get yourself from so many sources, and it's hard for you to keep up because they be changing names. They be changing. I confronted Vilsack, the U.S. Department of Agriculture under what's that president name? The last one, Biden. I confronted him about the fact that they are allowing produce to be produced in a hothouse. I ain't saying greenhouse. That has no sunlight. They provide LED lighting. It has no earth, no dirt, not even water. It has the roots of the vegetables hanging in a trough that they blow moist air through with all the chemicals that crop needs to grow. Now, the chemicals, NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and trace minerals, those same chemicals, if a farmer puts it on his land, then he cannot sell that product as organic. But this system that has been approved by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and I asked him directly about that, and he said, well, we have a committee of organic farmers, and they agreed that that's organic. I said, I don't care what they agreed to. How can you have a plant growing inside of a building with no sunlight, no earth, no water, and you feeding it artificial chemicals at the root, blowing it on the root, and you call that organic? And America is the only place on planet Earth that allows that. Canada don't allow that. Mexico don't allow that. Europe don't allow that. Australia don't allow that. Japan don't allow that. China, nobody allows that to be certified as organic except in America. And this guy John Mackey, who sold Whole Foods in 2017 to what's the name of it? What's the big thing? Huh? Is it Amazon. He sold it to them and took the money and hooked up with Bill Gates, and they produced the first fake chicken. So they use your Whole Foods money to set up a company that produces fake chicken, and it is also approved by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. And I asked Vilsack about that. How is that helping the farmers by you growing fake food in a laboratory somewhere? He said, well, and not many people go to buy it. I said, well, why would you even allow that, considering you claim to be working for agriculture that is not agriculture, that's manufacturing.
Mm.
That's not agriculture, that's manufacturing.
Mm.
So we are in a terrible place. We're in the cave of a dying snake.
Mm.
And this dying snake want to take everybody with him when he goes. He knows he can't make it here forever. So he's going to try to destroy this planet so it will be useful for nobody forever.
Mm.
So we must now follow and listen to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who tells you about these satanic people who hate life itself. They hate God because what? They were made inferior. They were taken out of us, and they don't have the complete genome in them. They don't have the ancestors in them. We have them in us, and therefore they hate God, and they hate us, and they hate themselves. So they're very dangerous because they are being snuffed out in terms of the truth is waking up everybody. And now this, I want to know this question. I've seen Kendrick Lamar perform in different countries with a lot of just young white people. And when he does, they not like us. They not like us. I'm thinking, who these white people think he talking about? They not like us. Then they jump up down. They not, who are they talking about? Are they trying to divorce themselves from their parents? Are they trying to divorce themselves from their parents? I don't know. But they keep saying, they not like us. They not like us. What you talking about? Who is the they you talking about?
Yes,
Sorry
sir.
about that.
No, Dr. Rizzi, roll on. I'm just laughing because Kendrick Lamar and his art gives me joy. And I like when you talk about it because you usually have profound thoughts about it. Dr. Rizzi, okay, we have some comments and questions in the chat. I just want to just back up a little bit and give people some information based on what we talked about. I Googled, and so now this is AI overview. So really, you know, y'all know what it is when we go to Google. But at any rate, it is said that yes, this is a link that's New Pioneer Food Co-op. Check that out. APL is permitted by the USDA for use on certified organic produce.
Certified organic?
This is what it's saying. But you know, it's AI, so I'm gonna have to go deeper.
No,
right?
they tell the truth. They tell the truth.
Yeah, really, because it's the first one that came up. But anyway, and the headlines that I read, I would not have stated it, but I actually did read it in a quote unquote credible source. But APL is permitted by the USDA for use on certified organic produce, although this has raised transparency concerns with the organic community. APL also has formulations for conventional produce, and all of its products are classified as generally recognized as safe. That acronym is GRAS, GRAS, by the FDA. This is the same FDA, however. We won't get into the COVID talk tonight, right? The shot talk tonight, because we're talking about this. But at any rate,
it's safe too. It's generally recognized as safe too, right?
Well, it goes on to say that APL and USDA organic certification does this. Permitted for organic use. We talked about that. Now, no specific labeling required. Under USDA regulations, retailers are not required to label produce that has been treated with APL's organic peel, even if it is sold as certified organic. The controversy and transparency issues, it is being said, despite meeting the requirements for organic certification, we talked about that. You know, research it. This is just a very quick little.
Let's see. Well, white folks, you know what white folks are finding out? They niggas now.
This is what you said.
They don't count. They don't count no more. Just being white is not a safe spot to be in because your elite is trying to get rid of you because you waking up to them.
Yeah. There are different sites, the coding on your organic. But Dr. Risley, I got to tell you, in our research, and then when I'm coming to you all, I'm going to let you, Dr. Risley, people talking to you in the chat. But during our research, and when I was appointed writer for the final call, lead writer for the COVID-19 shot, the vaccination, and learned a lot. But in that research, I was told this by many of the people coming, the doctors, the researchers, those who, by the way, turned out to be very different than who I thought they would be, just in terms of where I thought that source of information would come from. But at any rate, I digress. This was coming down the pike, people were saying. So again, to see this here, you know, um, hmm hmm
Well,
but Dr.
and remember when we was in the heat of that fight, right?
Mhm,
The COVID stuff, trying to get the truth out, and a lot of people were questioning our sources. Who are these people who are going against uh, the certified positions, those which are certified by the CDC and all that type of stuff. And
mhm.
it turns out all those quote unquote conspiracy theories have been proven to be correct.
And then
There weren't
some.
theories, it was conspiracy of the government of the world against their own people, not just Americans, but against the people of the world. Everything that we put, and I thank Allah, because it was very difficult for me to write those articles, because I said, if I make one mistake, they're going to use that against the Nation of Islam and Minister Farrakhan. So
But
it was very difficult. And so I thank Allah that so far we were 100% correct. All praises are due to Allah. And now Minister Farrakhan is simply got to say nothing. He ain't got to say nothing because he done put it out. You can take the shot if you want. I say just say no to Satan's shot. They're gonna come out with another shot. They're gonna try to fool you to make you believe that the whole world's got to get this shot, or everybody gonna die. I ain't gonna tell you how they gonna do it, but you're gonna see them do it in the next couple of months. So just don't take no shot.
Dr. Risley, I'm and still don't. He didn't pull that instruction back, did he? He Dr. Risley, I had to do like this. You really, I had to do like this when you made the comment about writing the articles. In fact, I still was doing this. Like, what are you doing in this room with these people, right? But, ooh, ooh. I, I think the
Now,
only way
let me tell you something, sister.
was
Those
childbirth.
people,
Like
let
that.
me tell you something. Those scientists got a lot of respect for the Nation of Islam because of people like you and how you interview them and how you allow them to have a platform to put the truth out when other agencies were afraid to deal with them. So they gain a lot of respect for the Nation of Islam through what you and others were doing in the final call by going to them and trusting what they said and then vetting what they said by checking out the other sources. But we were at the final call, and Minister Farrakhan was ahead of the curve all the way from 2020. The unraveling of a great nation. Right after that is when they start bringing out all this COVID stuff. And Minister Farrakhan said, hold it, July 4th, 2020. Don't take the shot. It's pure poison. And the shot hadn't even come out yet.
That's right.
It came
We
out
hadn't
at the
even
end of
come out.
December.
I wish I had. Okay, I wish I. Oh God, I wish I had that criterion photo. But Dr. Risley, thank you for what you said because you said it exactly right. Minister Farrakhan, all praise is due to Allah for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan because that's that trustworthiness right there. That's and I would tell them all the time, thank you on behalf of the Final Call newspaper, on behalf of our publisher, on behalf of the minister for taking my call, for speaking to
Mm,
the Final Call newspaper. Thank you on behalf of our paper because Dr. Risley, he said it in the criterion. He said it. And so it was just a matter of getting that info. He already said it. So
right,
the part
right.
to do was just now go get it, and to be a part of learning how to do that, and also even still, there's some things that need to happen. Okay, you talked about the Farrakhan babies in terms of
Yes.
this generation made for the Messiah, right? And people who are out there handling the business, who are not necessarily within the ranks as card carrying members. But let me get back on track. Is that I, I think childbirth, if I had to go to something of an experience like that, but coming out of like, wow, having gotten so much education, but
Yes.
those scientists and talking to them, and
Yes.
even going to the convention in Florida and getting
Yes.
more and more information, like
Hmm.
just all of this is playing out in terms of depopulation, but we were
That's
told
right.
by this man right here,
That's right. We were told. And
man right there. But go ahead, Dr.
let me tell you something right now. What I've been doing right now.
Woo.
I'm trying to get my video screen to come back on. Right, the picture of the
Mhm.
camera, and
Okay.
it tells me right down here. It says press Control plus E. Right.
Hmm.
I press Control and E, and nothing happens.
And I'm on my end trying to plug you in, but
Control E, nothing happens in terms of them giving back the control of my camera.
yeah, they're like, you want, but look, when it went out, I said, darn, at least we had a few minutes. But to have your voice, I mean, and I have your picture, that's amazing. But Dr. Ridgely, yeah, I'm glad, maybe next week we'll see what happens. but but thank you for bringing those scientists up. And the reason I said that is because, and I know why. Look, at first, okay, everyone, I promise, Dr. Rizzi, after this, I really need to say what the people want to say to you because they're in the chat. But since we're on that and all of this coming up, like the things we've been warned about, the things that he declared, that he said would happen, and playing it out all over. One thing that it was something to see how, well, at first some of the scientists and doctors were being killed. And I couldn't understand the run up to this. Like way before I knew anything, none of this was on the table. It was between the time that Dr. William Thompson, the whistleblower at the CDC, said that, he blew the whistle on the MMR vaccine and the impact on Black boys. Our student minister, Abdul Malik Saeed Muhammad, the Western Regional Representative of the Nation of Islam and the minister, then Brother Minister Tony, that information came to him. There were protests. He dealt with that, raised awareness. We went across the country. But in terms of the coverage, and highlighted that the autism rates at that time frame simultaneously, and even a little bit beforehand, a doctor mysteriously died. A healthy Black man or white women, there was no discrimination across the demographics, but they were dying in weird circumstances, just out of the blue, jogging, collapse in the car. And some were, I mean, it was just something to see. And then now a lot of this came out. Now, what some people alleged in the community there, in the scientific community, medical community, as well as other journalists that I know, were alleging that they were holistic, they were naturopaths, they were alternative medicine experts. And so people alleged and thought and believed and stated that some people that they were getting them out of the way.
Okay, let me deal with that.
Okay.
Let me deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
For them to put out this mRNA, that there could be no alternatives. There are many alternatives to taking the shot, in particular ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine. Okay? Now, the whole thing about this holistic, remember I said that by 1910 we had 7 medical schools? So what medicine were we producing? Where did we get our training? What were we teaching? What we were using, what we had found in the woods. We were using herbs to heal ourselves. And that's why Rockefeller came in and shut down all the holistic, the non-chemical. This is what they did. They took anything that was natural, that was good for you. They found out the key element in it, and then they produced it from petroleum.
Mm-hmm.
Because he had control of petroleum, but he didn't have control of the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So anything that we found that was useful, he
Mm-hmm.
then would take it and find it, the major element that caused it to be useful, and then to artificially produce that from petroleum. So that's what petrochemicals. Petrochemicals. And this whole medical system now is based on petrochemicals that the people who own controls petro make it every time. And instead of you going to the woods or a naturopathic doctor and getting stuff directly from the earth, in terms a living thing from the earth, instead of the dead matter of things from the earth and giving it to you, you're taking death itself. Oil is what? Dead things.
Mm.
Okay, it's dead. So now they're feeding you death itself to look like health, because it's mimicking those things that are found in nature that are alive, that are useful for you. So when they shut down our medical schools and shut down our 200 hospitals, in 1923 we had 200 hospitals. We had a health system that made us healthier up to the 1950s than white people. But after the 1950s and 60s, we started going downhill and getting cancer because they were shooting us up with the shots. When they gave the shot for the polio, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, don't take that shot. And guess what? We found that the SV40 monkey virus is coming in the shots now. SV40 monkey virus that causes cancer. So when we had a holistic system that we developed in the woods, because they denied us access. They denied us access. So we had to depend on self. And we found a way to survive. They came and destroyed that whole system of survival and put on an artificial system of coming to them for our food, clothing, and shelter, and for the petrochemicals mimicking living things. And now they want to make you a living thing, mimicking life. They want to take your body over itself and put them in the place where God sits in your DNA, in your head. They want to put themselves there in your DNA. Just go straight back to God, who is your father.
Wow. Thank you, Dr. Ridgely. I put the minister here, and the Final Call newspapers has the depopulation section. I haven't gone into that as much, but there is a definite depopulation agenda. It's in the Final Call. Read the Final Call. But here is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan with the criterion: a divine warning, a message to humanity, a pestilence from heaven. What has now come to pass? See, what has now come to pass? And so, Dr. Ridgely, there was something else. There's so much. Oh my goodness. We promise the people. My questions can go over there. Here, let me see what the people are saying to you. And thank you all for tuning in. He's dropping it. Assalamu alaikum, Michael Hudson. Do you wholesale distribute in the United States? Let me just say a few, and then you pull one. There's
that question. That's the Staple Goods Project.
Oh, my bad. Yes.
Staple Goods Project. Go to NOIMOA.org, and you'll see the Staple Goods logo. Hit that, and you'll see the Staple Goods Project and how to participate. And the history of the Staple Goods Project is right there on the website, NOIMOA.org.
Thank you for your question. How do we know if the fruit and vegetables are a pill?
I don't know. They just told you. There ain't no way to tell.
One thing is, Dr. Ridgely, there is a signal for right now. It's thicker. It's thicker. And I've seen, I've seen that before I knew what was happening. If you got a orange this big and you peel it and it's like this thick, we've seen that, this thick skin, but also that's one of it. Like avocados, for instance. Maybe an orange might not be the best example, because there are some oranges that have heavy coating, heavy skin, but thick skin. But avocados, right? They're not typically
Mhm.
thick. That
Right.
skin is not really, you can kind of just,
Right.
that's one way to tell. If you have avocado, according to what I've seen as well as read, that coating, that skin is thicker. That's one way. But I mean, we can't even go by food labels. I mean,
No.
I do
Mhm.
look like, what's the sticker? But
Yeah.
also, you can put up a sticker and stick it where you want.
Well, you know what? The only way to be sure is
Jesus.
either grow it yourself or get it from somebody you know that grows.
Yep.
See, either get you grow it yourself or you find you a farmer, a community of farmers that you can get stuff from.
Mm.
And we got to trade as farmers to each other. We got to start cutting wood down and producing houses. We got to go off the grid. We got to piece this thing together. Remember, we were supposed to die in the woods. We didn't die in the woods, so
Mm.
they want us to die now. But we not gonna die. Why? We multiply. Plus, we go try to obey the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and how to eat to live, and
Mm-mm.
how to work together to live. We're going to practice that.
Yes.
We go think hard and work smart.
Thank you for saying that. I remember, I have another a question. I remember someone saying that, what like in the first resurrection prior to 75 in the Nation of Islam, one of the things is that people helped each other. I think I also heard Minister Ava, may Allah be pleased with her, student minister Dr. Ava Muhammad, say that, once we're separated, it will be easy as long as we're in this society. It's hard. She wasn't giving us any excuses, but she just plainly stated that once we're in our own, we will do that because we will be holding each other up that way. I heard another person speak about that, like in the first, it was like, what are you doing? What are you doing eating now? Is it 4 or 6? Dr. Izzy, by the way, hold up. I used to think it was between 4 and 6,
Mm-hmm.
but I've recently come to the understanding that he actually stated eat at 4 or 6 in How to Eat to Live.
Wow, 4 or 6.
4 or 6, read it with my own
Wow,
eyes. Thank Allah for the beautiful Muslim
wow,
girls training general civilization class
wow.
where we get
Well,
deeper, greater understanding
yeah,
of our lessons and he said
yes,
4 or 6. So anyway,
4 or 6.
yeah, I don't want to say anyway. I'm not dismissing that. I'm just saying that
Wow,
that
that's
was in
interesting.
my mind. Appeal and edible. Let me go back to say this too. Appeal and edible coatings. Your questions answered. This is from the Cornucopia Institute. So they were answering some of the concerns to the person's question. The person's question about that. They were saying that their extensive research cut through misinformation and marketing. So anyway, yeah, they're going into how the different products have a certain coding. We talked about that. The list of information. How did APO get into the organic food? I'm sorry, I thought it was okay. Here are edible coatings. Just the word edible coating. Dr. Richie, do you hear that? Do you all
Yeah,
hear that?
yeah,
Or
yeah.
edible coatings worrisome?
You
Dr.
know,
Richie, think about that.
edible coatings. I guarantee you it's petroleum based. I guarantee you it's petroleum based.
Food
Okay.
films. Listen, fresh foods signal nutrient density, but food films upend that assumption. While the films prevent decay, there are unanswered questions about their impact on density. Edible coatings may also produce a risk to some consumers, particularly those with allergies, sensitivities, and chronic illness and/or disability. The populations facing the biggest risk are often the ones that rely on organic food as a safe. Oh, enough of that.
What? Whoa.
Okay,
In other words, they're coming in your straight path.
have you see that?
You're coming in your straight path. When you're trying to eat organic, they're coming right in your straight path.
Look at this. Yes, in the conventional marketplace, cornucopia can confirm, that's I'm reading from their site, cornucopia can confirm that APO It's being used on non-organic avocados, limes, English cucumbers, and apples. They may also be used on other cucumbers, strawberries, and other citrus fruits.
In other words, a coating of death.
Mhm. Edible coatings, still tripping on that word. Edible coatings are still much less common in organic produce. I mean, I'm just, it's just, okay, here's the store that I was talking about since it's here, Natural Grocers. It says that some independent retailers and grocery chains, including natural grocers, have committed to keeping their fruit and produce free of APO products. And as you said, Dr. Ridgely, because I said, is it that's like a community service? You said, well, if you can prove it, because unless they're getting it out of a backyard somewhere, but it's amazing. This is all just bearing witness to the teachings. This is
That's
not
right.
to be like, oh, the boogeyman.
That's
We're
right.
just saying like, hey, we've been taught and told, and
That's right.
he's not more powerful than God, but it's coming to pass. Again, what has now come to pass? The criterion, a divine warning, a message to humanity. He was dealing specifically with a pestilence from heaven. However,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is I'm not adding, but in reading all of this from these different places, it's just because we started talking about that and we want to give you the information. Dr. Risley, someone asked, um, are the weight loss shots?
I have no idea. I don't take
I'm
shots.
sorry. I'm sorry. I Salim H, cut it out. Okay. We talking about food. We're not talking about weight loss shots. Dr. Risley, I'm sorry. I thought that was
I got a weight loss program for you. Come to Muhammad Farms every other day. Come and pick okra for 2 hours.
Oh, we got okra right now?
Right now. Right now. We pick every other day. Got to go pick okra. So I mean, hey, you want to lose some weight? Come out here and pick okra with us. I guarantee you lose some weight.
I love me some okra, Dr. Rizzi. My mama could cook that okra with that red gravy, that Louisiana red gravy. Oh my God.
Go ahead.
Dr.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, Dr. Sis Ann, let me come stay with y'all for a second. Okay, remember to contribute to the 3-year economic. Thank you, Sister Tawan. Helen Muhammad asked, no, somebody asked a question.
The 3-year economic program, 4855 South Woodlawn Avenue, Chicago, Illinois, 60615.
They wonder why we are having gut issues that lead to health problems. I'm sorry. I really thought I had some questions, but I'm not trusting these things. Dr. Risley, let's I have questions. Thank you all. I didn't put the comments up there. Somebody can come do that for me. Dr. Risley, I had questions for you.
Okay.
I want to go back and show the staple goods. Let me get off this pill. Where are my questions? I prepared them. All right. How, Dr. Risley, have you gotten around at the forum and survived some of the major challenges, such as the extreme weather calamities, drought, biochemical warfare, and just the natural enemies to farms and farming, like the animals and insects?
Allah has blessed me to survive thus far. Okay. But I am at war from a little insect that you can barely see to a 500-pound hog running wild. All right. I deal with drought. I deal with mud. I call the mud and the gnats my army because they keep other people out.
Wow.
The gnats in the mud keep other people out. So, Allah, I know so much that I never would have known if I had not come down to this farm. I know so much that I never would have known if I had not come down to this farm and actually tried to do that which I had been studying and go out here and deal with Mother Nature, the real. And I have a great respect for the Black farmers. They did not lose their farm because they could not farm. They lost their farm because the U.S. Department of Agriculture tricked them and took their farm. They have changed rules and regulations since Muhammad Farms has been here, particularly to block us from doing anything or get anything from the government or from the insurance companies, from anything. We do what they say that they change the rules of regulation. I've experienced that. But because I know they's the devil, I just get up and go and make it happen anyway, do the best we can. I wish we could even do better than what we have done. But I heard that a lot of big basketball players are want to buy land now, want to get into farming. It's great. All praises due to Allah. I think people go on my website and see us on our tractors and riding around and doing things. I guess they think it's easy. I try to make it look easy, but trust me, the real deal ain't easy. It'll break you or make a god out of you.
Okay, here's the black farmers, and thank you for hollering about talking about that ball player that's doing that. That is real good. And Dr. Ritchie, thanks for bringing up the black farmers. Here's black farmers are reclaiming their land, whether the USDA stands in the way or not. This is final call in June. Mm-hmm. So I want to look at it and see how they're doing that. Yeah, they took billions. Well, billionaires flip farmland for profit. Black farmers are flipping the script on stolen land. Black Wall Street Times. That's interesting. They're making a comeback. Dr. Wizard said they're making a comeback.
Well, let me tell you. I warned them though. The USDA is reaching out to the new black farmers, to help them. Well, they're doing that because they ain't got they done wipe, ain't about 140,000 farmers in the country now. They done wipe the farmers out, white ones too. So now they need a clientele to justify their job. So we tell them, get whatever the USDA has to offer, but no loans. Do not take a loan. If it's a grant, take it. If they're going to give you a subsidy, take it. But do not take out their loans, because that's how they took the black farmers' land, is to take out loans. So do not take out no loan. Take everything you can get from them, but do not take up a loan from the U.S. Department of Annihilation.
No loans.
No loans.
Thank you. Let's see. I think this is a question. Okay, I knew we had a question. Thank you, Sister Tawan. And thank you all for your comments as well. How many people contribute regularly to Economic Blueprint so we can purchase more farmland?
I do not know.
That's it. I mean,
that's an internal. That's an internal thing that the enemy don't need to know.
First of all, but I will pull up the Economic Blueprint.
Yes.
So that we can deal with that. But Dr. Risty, thank you for that. Yeah, you all, no disrespect, but there are just some questions that are not meant for here. And even if they're like just raised for consideration, it's internal and we don't even have the answer. We talked about how long the staple goods, this is my question. Okay, how long do the staple goods last? Okay. For instance, if someone bought 2 bags of beans and they put them in their garage and they're still in the garage in those bags, they might be in the storage, wherever the people are keeping them today, and tragedy strikes, can they still use their beans?
Okay, if on the NYMOA.org website dealing with the staple goods, we go through methods for proper storage of each one of the products. Mm-hmm. Methods for proper storage. What type of canisters to get, what type of plastic bags to get, what temperature, where to put it at. So that's on the website. NYMOA.org will tell you how to best store your products for a long period of time.
Okay, now that's the site.
Of course, if you put it in the freezer, it'll last forever. Until your freezer go out, right? But we teach you each way of how each product, how to properly store it for long periods of time.
There it is. Dr. Risley, I wanted to show the images, and I had that slide. And I'm glad I had that page, but this is an actual website for the Ministry of Agriculture. So thank you for answering that. Let me make sure if anyone else, there's a lot of different thank yous coming through. The people are appreciating the information you're giving. So you have the Farming and Gardening Guild weekly calls. Is that open to the? Yeah,
Yes.
let's join. What?
Yeah, 605-313-5073. That's open to the public. And we got, people who are farmers, people who are gardeners, and the best place to learn is from another gardener or farmer, because things change every year. And people have seen problems that you probably have come up, and they've seen it and they've tackled it. So this is your best source for information. This is better than YouTube. This is better than college. This is getting from the horse's mouth on the ground to digging in the dirt. Okay, with fighting them weeds and fighting them insects. It will tell you how they solve the problem. The black man and the black woman is God. So in God, it means you see a problem and you solve a problem. So you need to contact the other farmer gods to see what problems they have had and solved, so it can help you with your problem that you have. And guess what? You have a different problem every year. Every year you have a different problem, even with the same crop. So this is a learning process. Like I said, I know more about equipment than I ever wanted to know. I done fixed every damn thing. I done fixed everything that is to be fixed. I have fixed it. Why? It's $125 an hour. Plus, if he comes out, they charge you for coming out fee, plus $125 an hour. Woo! So one thing I learned when I got my PhD was that I did a research on best farmers in Michigan, and I asked them questions. What's the most important thing to survive? He said the most important thing to survive as a farmer is that you must be able to fix your own equipment.
Wow.
You must be able to fix your own equipment. Now, I'm gonna give you that caveat. I'm gonna give you that right there. Now, let me tell you what farmers are fighting about now, because the big corporations, John Deere and International Harvester, they got these tractors that you can't even put in a fuse. Wow. You can't do nothing without you getting them to do it for you. Okay, because they won't give you the code. So you have a sensor to go out. Okay, they'll sell you the sensor, but if you put that sensor in your tractor won't start. You got to get them to put the code in for your tractor to accept the sensor. That's why we got rid of a newer tractor and traded in for an older tractor that did not have those steps that they gain in it. And then I have that computer in it where it'll stop anything that you're trying to do to fix your own equipment. So we can fix our own equipment, but the newer tractors, you can't even fix it. So now the farmers are in an uproar. They said, look, we want to be able to fix our own equipment. You got to give us the software so that we can turn on our tractor once we fix our equipment. We can fix it, but then we can't turn our tractor on because you got a code in there that shuts everything down.
Wow. You there?
I'm here.
I'm gonna make sure I didn't take out the wrong screen. Dr. Ridgely, that's amazing. Yeah, you can't be in the middle of your work and then wait. You have to wait, and especially out there on that road where you are.
Well, let me tell you something. You heard of the Green Revolution in Africa?
Yes.
The Green Revolution. And then they say, see, the Africans they get this equipment that's out there in the field, broken down. They don't know what to do. But when they give you, so John Deere sends over a tractor, but they don't send over a dealership. And so now you got to wait for a part to come from England or come from America, and you right around the corner from the monsoon season. So this is why they didn't work. It was sabotage. So if somebody wants to help you down China, they say they want to help Africa. I see they're doing the right thing, but you got to give me a dealership. If you give me a tractor, I want a dealership so I can fix my own tractor. As a matter of fact, put up a manufacturing plant in my country that my people work at. and we have a dealership so that we can get our own stuff fixed on time. Because with Mama Nature, she don't care. You know when you're supposed to do something. A crop, you got to do certain stages. You got to do it on time, or you wind up getting nothing. So if you don't do things on time, you get nothing. Mama Nature, she don't care about what you see. What you see what you got. You see, you got. No, I ain't got to say nothing. You know what you're supposed to do. You know when you should have done it. Sorry, see you next year if you survive.
Ooh. Know what had happened was. Wow. Dr. Risley, I'm so grateful for you, Sister Ann. Thank Allah for you all, what you do down there. Thank Allah for Minister Farrakhan having the forum, the nation of Islam. Where would we be? Where would we be if Master Fard Muhammad had not come and raised the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and asked for a helper, Minister Farrakhan, and then he accepted? Dr. Risley, go ahead.
We remember, they expected for us to die in the woods, but who showed up in 1930? They were lynching us day and night. And you look at the lynch statistics, you'll see that the lynchings slowed down to almost zero after 1930. They know the God is here. The only hope that they have is to keep us asleep. Okay, like Trump trying to unwoke us. Trump trying to unwoke us, trying to get us to take the blue pill. You understand what I'm saying? So we've been awakened. We're told what to do. They intended for us to die in this wilderness. And since they couldn't just pick us out to kill, now they're going to kill white folks too, because they don't need them no more, because they can put in robots to replace them. So it's not safe anymore to be integrated with people who are slated for death as well. You need to get away from them people and be with yourself, so you got somebody you can depend on that looks like you. If you need somebody, you'll find a way to like somebody. And now we need somebody. So you better find a way to like somebody that look like you, because they'll let you know what they want you to do is go back on the plantation to be their slave.
Pick your own food. Let's pick our own food. Dr. Risley, by the way, thank you for that. By the way, how long will we be picking okra? Where can I stay? Can I say which? Not for no, but seriously, because
well, it's gonna get cold soon. We probably pick for another 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay, 2 or 3 weeks. Let's give back.
But when the Stable Goods Project kicks in, again, everything's a matter of time, and when things kick in, some things got to kick back.
Meaning the picking?
Can't do everything.
Okay, so we need to call, email.
Yeah, just email me, rizamumeen@gmail.com, rizamumeen@gmail.com. But if you don't come get it in the next 2 weeks, it's just another thing to happen.
Just gone. Dr. Risley, thank you. As we're talking, I have your book here, your great picture there. Look at our handsome Dr. Risley. Just Say No to Satan Shots. I just wanted to announce some of that from out of the research that he did and all of the articles during the COVID-19 research he did. Dr. Risley, my question, let me just leave it there since I mentioned it. My question is, let's say 5 people, 2 people, 10 people want to come down. They literally contact you after the show and say, Dr. Risley, we're coming. What do we need to do? What do you expect of us?
Well, this is not theoretical. They're going to have to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. So, but I'm saying,
in other words, when they have to do that. When they do that, then I know how to respond to them.
Okay, asking. Not general. Okay,
not general.
Got it. So I won't be. I'm sorry, I can't just say, because one thing I asked that for is because I know you know nonsense. You do not play. You get down there, you're working, and so I just
and if you show up without contacting me, you know what I say? Turn around, don't drown.
I'm laughing, but I know you're serious. But that's why I'm laughing, because he is not playing.
Turn around, don't drown.
Look at the raw milk. Look at the bean soup recipe and cooking instructions we're getting here.
Look what it said. Boiling our milk as the most honorable Elijah Muhammad instructed us.
That's to do. Let's hit that tab and learn more. Let me see what's right here. Navy bean recipe. I want to go back to that. Boiling our milk. Okay. Agriculture news. Disgraceful step backwards. There we go. You were talking about that.
Yes.
Um, we need a Ministry of Agriculture. Here we go. There we go. I want to go to the as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us to do, and let you take the next few minutes and close out for us.
Hit the learn more button. Hit the learn more.
Yeah, you Dr. Risley. Let me go slow because I be done put something somewhere I don't need to. Let me see. All right,
There it is.
here it is. So everyone, they're so adorable. Oh,
Yes.
oh, pause. Dr. Richard, I gotta say it. Oh my God. Happy birthday to my grandbaby. I saw the milk and I saw the baby here and I thought about my grandbaby. My granddaughter Soraya, your person. What do you call her, Dr. Risley? I forgot. House rocker, but her birthday is today. She's 4. So happy birthday, Soraya. I love you so much.
I
Okay.
love you too, boss Soraya.
Boss, I'm gonna put her little picture up before we go. Okay, so raw milk. We always go ahead, Dr. Rusi. Talk to us about this as I get my granddaughter's birthday picture up.
Yeah, I mean, I can't hardly read it on my
Oh, you
screen.
can. Okay, look, me.
But there it is for the people to read them for themselves
Yeah.
about the pasteurization of milk. Now, see, this is the issue. The milk that's been pasteurized from the commercial, they not only do they heat it, they pressure it through little nozzles that completely destroys the fabric of the milk. When you do a pasteurization, a low temperature pasteurization over your stove with no pressure on it, then the actual milk structure stays and the pathogens are killed. But the way they pasteurize milk, homogenize it, is they squeeze it through these very, very little small holes that completely destroys the milk structure. And if you know anything about food structure is important for your body to be able to properly handle and utilize. It's not just a bunch of chemicals. It's structured in life.
Thank
By
you.
life, for life.
Thank you. I would always say I need a little thermometer or something to make sure I'm boiling it at the proper temperature. It's like just when that skin comes. I mean, just use your eyes, right? Just boil it.
Yeah, when it boils, it's boiling.
Boiling. Yeah. Dr. Risley, if you will allow me before we get your closing remarks for the day, and I check back in the comment section to share this because I'm so blessed. I thank Allah for blessing me to have a granddaughter, to have children, to be able to
Yes.
carry on the legacy,
Yes.
of what
That's
look,
right.
we believe. Let me see. Can I get her?
Well, that system is what the enemy wants to destroy.
Mm-hmm.
The whole system by which we reproduce and pass on ourselves through our people and how we live even after we are gone, we're still alive in our people, in the DNA.
Mm-hmm.
They only know what 10% of the DNA actually is. It is a huge storage center that has each one of your ancestors is still alive in you.
Teach.
And sometimes those ancestors come through and you don't know where that voice is coming from. They're in you and you will be in your descendants. You never leave the universe.
Thank Allah.
You never leave the universe.
Woo. We're gonna have to come back and do more show on that. I like getting more
That's in the
understanding.
Holy Quran, 2 and 157, I believe. I read it to you. It's in the Holy Quran. Say not those who die in the way of Allah as dead. They're not dead. You just perceive not.
That's right. That's right. And thank you for painting the picture, of how that happens, Dr. Risley. So this is when is the Navy being okay. So I'm gonna after this, I have another question for you, and then we'll close out. Final Call Radio. So I don't forget it. I remember Final Call Radio, finalcall.com. But the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, messages, his music, and Dr. Sophia Shabazz with the NOI Healthy Minute. All of that, Final Call Radio. Please subscribe. Here's my granddaughter. Her birthday is today. She's 4. And I wish I had the picture of her reading the Twitter book there. But I want to say happy birthday to Soraya and many more. And this is her mother, Akila Raisa Jabril, her father. And this is her swimming. I think she just, oh, we don't need to see all that. Anyway, that was just it. I just wanted to say happy birthday and thank Allah for my granddaughter, Soraya. Can I stop sharing that? Okay, Dr. Ridgely.
Yeah, I'm still hitting Control E. Control E. It says press Control E to turn your camera on. I'm just hitting this.
You know, Dr. Ridgely, we want because they won't let us look. They won't. They won't. They don't have the power. But it could cut your audio off. Let's go to the chat and see what's in there for you. How can we purchase? Yes, thank you, Sister Tawan. I wanted to mention your books. How can we purchase your books? Okay, wait, time out. Dr. Richard, before we talk about the books, would you please come back and talk about the pyramids and the
Sure.
That whole star system. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I didn't articulate it the best way, but I'll have it articulated when he comes back. But Tawan asked, how can we purchase your books? Let me add one more. When is the Nation Bean Pie Mix going to be on the staple goods menu? How can we get your books? And when will we have the bean pie mix?
Bean pie mix. Nobody has sent us any yet. In other words, you have to send it to us so we can test it out. Then we send it out to each coordinator and let their customers test it out. And then that's when we decide on whether to have it as a part of the Staple Goods project. So you have to send us a sample and enough samples that we can test it out. That's how it's done. And the instructions are on the website, noymoa.org, on how to get a product onto the Staple Goods project. Now, my books. They used to sell 4 of my books on Amazon, but they don't do that no more. They took me off Amazon. But you can go to noymoa.org and you go to books, noymoa.org, and go to books. And then it has the books, and then you can purchase those by sending a money order to P.O. Box 60, Brownwood, Georgia, 39826. Ridgely McMean, P.O. Box 60, Brownwood, Georgia, 39826.
Thank you. Now, Dr. Ridgely, a couple of things, but I guess one of the key things is how white folks got so rich. We're getting ready to start rev up again the Liberated Sisters book report.
Yes.
And so that's one of the books on tap. We want to select one of your books, the one that you would like us to do. So I just wanted to ask you if you would be my book report co-host, inshallah.
So in there?
Would you be my book report?
Okay.
As we delve into the books that are published by our brothers and sisters, namely the research group.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We can do that. Like Denzel said. Okay. We can do that.
Did you see Highest to Lowest? His latest movie? That's the reason I know. Unless it was on that farm in their crop, you probably didn't, or in that truck, or in that track.
No, I haven't seen his latest one.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for that. There was another question I wanted to ask you about. I'm sorry, gosh. It was staple goods. It was a staple good project. Oh, I'm sorry. It was your closing remark. What are your closing remarks for before we close out?
Well, you would have to the 31st. No, not 31st. The 24th and 7 days after that. 14 days after that, rather. That will be the close of the staple goods ordering process. So 14 days from September 24th. So it'll be, I think, September something. So put in your order. Put in your order. And remember, don't take any more new shots. Have something in your home to prepare yourself to stay 3 to 4 months. if necessary. Get back in the kitchen, learn how to cook, get you a freezer to store your fresh products, and keep up with NOI.org to see what we're doing in the Ministry of Agriculture. You can also go to our Facebook page, Ridgely McMean Facebook page, and the Ministry of Agriculture Facebook page to keep up with what we're doing in the Ministry of Agriculture and at Muhammad Farms and at the other educational attempts that we make to wake you up. Assalamu alaikum.
Wait, Dr. Risa, you finished before I could finish showing this. Walaikum salam. Dr. Rizzi, thank you so much on behalf of Liberated Sisters, and thank you all for tuning in. Dr. Risley, I will be calling you as soon as possible to book the next shows, and we really appreciate you and everyone that is helping you. And please give my love and the greetings to Sister Ann for me.
Well, Sister Ann is an angel because she can deal with me. I can't deal with me. She can.
She sure is an angel. Well, I wanted to show it, but I'll just stop sharing it. Please give her the greetings. You all just. Okay, Dr. Risley, I'll let you go. Everyone, thank you for tuning in. And I think we got all the questions. Dr. Risley, thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having me. And I'm sorry to bring the disruptions that I do in terms of you thought you had a picture, you thought they had me on live, and then they decided that they weren't going to do it today. But we'll try it again. But you got a backup system. You got a backup system. So that's what we have to do.
Yeah, that's right. And it's not on you, Dr. Rizzi. And actually, I have been given information on how we can even take calls. It's a work in progress. And I think it's all great because in terms of how the show is being reformatted, new look and different things, but we still continue the work until that happens. I just realized it. I mean, there's something for presentation, and it's real. Because we're supposed to be par excellence. However, what I realized is I had stopped. But you keep pressing forward, right? We keep it moving. You keep it moving because it's whose trial? It's not his trial.
That's right.
It's my trial.
It's our trial.
It's our trial.
That's right.
And as he is being most obedient, right? To his instructions. I'm talking about Minister Farrakhan.
Yes.
And obeying his father and our father.
That's right.
And being quiet. It is not for me to be quiet. However, how am I talking? What am I saying? Right, Dr. Risley?
That's right.
Because we do have marching orders and we are in the structure.
That's correct.
We're in the structure.
Stay within the bounds.
That's right. And Allah, please say that I did. Look, I'm going to cut my phone off. I don't want to cut my phone off. Like that's going to stop any communication. But Dr. Risley, we love you so much. Dr. Risley, I love you. Dr. Risley, you are my big brother.
Well, sister, you're my hero. You're my hero. Yeah, you. Yeah, you. You went through a lot. You've done a lot. You do a lot. All praise due to Allah for you.
Yeah. All praises due to Allah. I received that because all of that was starting. That's ego. No, but I can receive that because you talk to the God in me. Allah Akbar. All praises due to Allah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, tell the deer get out my watermelon. And I'm coming down there to deal with my okra.
Give everybody greetings out there in LA, and may Allah tell y'all exactly when to leave.
Oh, Brother Malik, he has this joke, but I think he's serious. Our student minister, and thank Allah, he just came through something. He's strong. But and go to his pages and he'll tell you he's telling us all about it. But he said, I'm gonna give y'all when I get the call, I'm gonna call y'all, but I'm gonna be on the freeway first.
There you go.
Freeway first, but I'm gonna get
real. Everything's real. Everything's real.
Yeah. But thank you so much, Dr. Rizzi. I know I said we were closing 4 times, but I'm just so happy that Allah blessed us to be able to hear from you. you
Yes.
know, and we'll get it even better. You know, even if I don't know if I have to go back to certain places, but that where you came through clear. But I'm just grateful. So
Okay.
everyone, we have a treasure here, you know, who has accepted his assignment and what you've been doing on behalf of the Nation of Islam. Thank you so much, and also, you know, just I thank Allah. I thank Allah.
Well,
I thank Allah.
really, I tell people this.
Whew.
I'm not making this thing up. I have learned more.
Mm.
I never would have learned the things that I have learned if I had not gone through this experiment. If the minister had not put me in this crucible, put me in this place where I can learn
What's a
instead of being this.
crucible? I gotta look it up. What's a crucible?
A crucible is when you're dealing with some chemicals. You trying to make up something, okay?
Okay.
Mix it together in
Oh,
a
my
crucible
kitchen.
and to
Hold on a second.
produce something different, okay? So that's what this has been down here at Muhammad Farm, a crucible. Almost uncrucified me, but no, not yet. A crucible making me into something,
Thank
okay?
you, Dr. Ridgely. Yeah,
Yes,
a heat-resistant container used for melting something. Thank you. Ah, thank you for explaining that for me. But
yes,
but you're thinking of Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is what I'm. You know, let me
that's right.
be serious. Thank you.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
I thank him too. So, well, you know, we don't not gonna have an after party. You know, just miss you so much, and the
yes,
information people are there,
yes. Thank
but
you
we
very
gotta
much.
let you go.
That's
There's
right.
such a thing as respect, and so I
That's
want to
right.
respect your time, and I also want you to come back. So let me let you
Yes.
go.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you for having me.
Welcome.
Walaikum salam.
Everybody, that's our show for the day. I'm looking at the camera, and I don't know why all these days I'm so close up. But at any rate, I really thank you all for tuning in and for bearing with Liberated Sisters, me and my broadcast. Help is coming, you know, and I really thank Allah for the help that is coming to me to produce, you know, and to bring the information that I desire to bring in the way I desire to bring it. And Dr. Ridgely spoke about it. He's used the term Farrakhan babies, and he talked about the you know, those who are dealing with the false charge of anti-Semitism. And so, inshallah, we'll be talking about that more, just in terms of what's in the Final Call newspaper, what is the warning and the guidance and the instructions. And so we have a Nation of Islam research team. We have student ministers. We have members of the Executive Shura Council, or the Nation of Islam Shura Executive Council. We have spokespersons who are equipped and qualified and able to handle that and designated to do that. And those are the people that I would love to bring before you, to present to you. They're out there doing that already. You know, they're on different podcasts. They're on our Brothers and Sisters podcast. They're on their own podcast. They have books. They're talking to people who are not necessarily card carrying members. They're there to answer questions. Just reach out to the Nation of Islam. I think the number is 773 602 1230. No, that's the final call. I forgot the number to headquarters because I was calling it so much. But Nation of Islam, NOI.org. There's a phone number there. You can contact headquarters, the Nation of Islam. You can reach out and ask for members of the Executive Council, the Shura Council, or you can just go to their social media pages. Dr. Wesley Muhammad is out there flamethrowing. Student Minister Nuri Muhammad is not a member of the Nation of Islam Executive Council. However, he is our student minister in Indianapolis, and he tours a lot. He's out there speaking a lot. You can reach out to the regional ministers. You can reach out to the research group, Dr. Ridgely. There is Brother Ilya Rashad. These are student ministers. These are, but they're not but how, and they're experts in various fields. Dr. Ridgely is farming. Student minister Ilya is dealing with the will, the UFOs, right? Student minister Ishmael Muhammad has been speaking more, I see, in terms of different I mean, I could just go on and on and on with the names and the list, you know. But the point I'm trying to make is reach out to the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam is here for you. I'm not speaking, what am I trying to say? straight words. The Nation of Islam is here for you. And in or outside of the nation, there are people who are addressing these topics. So you want to talk about food, you want to talk about health, you want to talk about economics. We have people who can come, and they are students of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and they have direct guidance. So it's nothing to be missed. But we're coming back with the Nation of Islam Research Group and more of their work and more of their writings. And it's time. It's past time. So that's what we'll be bringing, God willing, on Liberated Sisters. We'll be having our co-host. Hopefully, we can have Sister Attorney Pamela Muhammad back, and many more, many more. So charge it to my head, not my heart. Anything that may not have come across right or well, to those who had questions or comments about those things, as we said, we don't know, and also it's not the realm for that. But contact the Nation of Islam. Call them up. Call them up. Okay? NOI.org. Keep the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, Mother Khadijah Farrakhan, and the Farrakhan family and the Muhammad family in our prayers, please. And as we are asked and taught, pray for each other, no matter who or where you are, if you're within the sound of my voice. Lift each other up, and I pray that all is well with you and yours. And for goodness sake, pray for Liberated Sisters. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, Closing the Gap Broadcast Network, our platform here, and tune into our mother show on Saturday, Closing the Gap broadcast, as well as support all of the shows, even as I endeavor to do that more. And so, with that, I'm Sister Charlene Muhammad again, and thank you for tuning in. And happy birthday, Soraya. Grand Umi loves you. I love you, love you, love you, love you. I thank Allah for you. And thank you, Jabril and Raisa, the vessels from which she came. And thank Allah for my grandbaby. And yeah, y'all be trying to reach me and my hair everywhere. Soraya working me. But Assalamu alaikum.